Welcome to Iconic Wisdom. I know that my guest here today, Robyn Hyden, I'm so honored to be able to share your story. And Iconic Wisdom is really about transformation, about journeys, about wellness and beauty and longevity and health. This story, this interview today, will probably be one of the most impactful interviews that I ever will have the honor and pleasure to do. And just sharing your story about your unimaginable journey and what you went through and how that has really elevated you to where you are today, to live courageously, hopefully, joyfully, and really just want to dive in allowing you, Robyn Hyden, to share your story. So let's talk first a little bit about your background. You know, I find it fascinating because you're all about energy healing, energy lifting. Everything you do in your work embodies energy. And so maybe we could just start with a little bit of an overview on that.
Well, this is so cool. Like you sitting here talking to me. I mean, we've been doing this for 25 years. But to be in this kind of capacity, I mean, if you told me 10 years ago this is what I was going to be doing sitting here in front of you, I'd be like, wait, what? We do this all the time. But this is really cool. So I absolutely love what you are doing here, Kim. And it's an honor to be here and that you would want to choose me to share my story.
Absolutely.
So where do I begin? I think, I think I've always been in this field of, I'm a helper. I grew up just, people pleasing, just wanting to evaluate the room and make sure that everybody's taken care of. So I think I've always, from a young age, learned how to read people's energy. It just came really easy to me. Found myself in the field of massage therapy. I've been doing that now for 22 years. So just, working with the body and energy. I think, 2 years ago, my 17-year-old daughter passed away. And, that was one of those things that life just throws you. When you've imagined how your life is going to be in the future, and then it's not, is a big, it's a monumental thing that just happens.
Yeah. I was going to say, it was one of the most unimaginable moments for all of us to experience, but you and John, you're married to two-time Olympian famed
Yes.
pro beach volleyball player John Hyden,
Mm-hmm.
and mother to Jackson as well. But life was cruising along, right?
Oh my gosh,
was
it
going
couldn't have
great.
been. Yeah, it couldn't have been better. It's crazy because literally the day before she passed, I was in my bathroom brushing my teeth. John is in bed with both of the kids watching TV with them. And I came out and I said, I don't know how it gets any better than this. It was really one of those moments of everything was just flowing right. He had retired from playing, so we were going to have him all to ourselves and, be this family unit. To then, go to wake her up for school the next day. And she wasn't there. She had gone.
And no explanation.
No explanation.
Still to this day.
No. Every medical examiner's report. I've had friends who are surgeons look at her, the report, and it's like, they told you nothing.
It was so tragic, but in typical Robyn style, because everything you do, I've been on the other side of your healing work. It's unbelievable.
Oh, thank you.
You just have a gift. But you took, part of what we're talking about here is reinvention and transformation.
Yeah.
And despite the pain of it all, which was 2 years ago, correct?
2 years, yeah, a little over 2 years.
How did you then wake up the next day and over the last 2 years, and I've seen you just pour your healing energy into yourself, into your family, and now you're looking to do something very profound in life. But share with us, because I want women who are out there and contemplating their own transformation, whatever it might be,
Right.
to hear how you took your mindset and your courage to really transform yourself and heal your family as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it really is a process. And I think everybody's journey that is dealing with these challenges, you know, tragic, or even like watching somebody die, you know, divorce or losing a job. I mean, yes, obviously the worst case scenario is losing a child. But it's the, what do you do with it? You know, and I think it was really interesting because immediately, just because of my spiritual background, being in the, you know, energy healing field, it was, okay, I have to figure out a purpose. I have to know, like, what am I supposed to be doing now?
Yeah.
You know, where I then had spiritual advisors say, slow down, you have to go through this. And I think there's a lot of people who will either stop and they don't get out of bed. And I don't think anyone would blame them for not wanting to get out of bed, for not wanting to participate in their other children's lives, right? Or show up, you know, to be the wife, or show up to be, you know, someone like, you know, both of my parents are still alive. You know, it's like I had to show up for them. But then the biggest thing for me was, yes, that identity before, when Sam was alive, was, yes, I'm here to help and serve others, you know, as selflessly as I possibly can.
Yes, that is so you.
And then I'm faced with this, which I tried to maneuver around. And it was like life was just saying, no, you're going to have to sit down, you're going to have to feel it and go through it. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that everybody, I want to feel normal again. Am I ever going to be okay?
Yeah.
You know, and you're just looking for something. You know, I went to these mom groups and I was like, who's here to tell me that it's going to be okay? And they're like, you're never going to be okay. And I was not okay with that. It was, I need something. And I think through the years, what I had found was I was not healing. I was trying to go backwards. And I thought, John needs me to be the wife that I was before Sam died, because I really liked her. You know, I was like, I'm 50. I finally, right? So now here we are. Yeah, I was like, there's something powerful, Kim, as you know, when you turn 50 as a woman, it's like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I'm so ready to just embrace this and be like, oh my God, I'm not a people pleaser. And I don't have to take care of everybody. I don't have to walk into a room and I can just be.
Yes.
And I loved that. And I was just getting comfortable with it. And then life just went phew, and just took the carpet right out from underneath me. And it was like, I got to get my footing. I got to get my footing.
Well, and I just remember even it caught everybody obviously off guard, because that's life, right? It was just,
sure.
And the grieving process was, you know, I think there's so many obstacles when you're dealing with that, right? From the outside looking in, nobody knows what to say. Nobody knows what to do. At the same time, you as a helper and a healer are trying to heal everybody else around, kind of stuff your own feelings down inside, right? And it's a very complicated scenario. And I know you jokingly would tell me you had enough flowers, you had enough whatever,
Wind
right?
chimes. Somehow wind chimes made the SEO of Google, what do you get as a sympathy gift? And I got 7 things of wind chimes, which I don't think people realize. And I know anyone that sent them that is listening to this, I don't mean any disrespect, but having the sound of wind chimes after your child has died, that's what those are for, and hearing them. And I live in Tennessee, and that wind is daily,
Yeah.
constantly, that it would just be like, no. But yes, there's plenty. I almost want to write a book about, here's what not to do.
That's the thing, is I think that is one message that I think would be really important right now to even share with people that are out there about how to support someone who's going through this. Because I know that's part of your mission right now moving forward, right?
100%.
You have fully embraced this. So
Yeah.
is there anything that you would say?
I think that it's the more people, number one, we don't talk about death, right? Nobody wants to talk about it, which I find so fascinating when it's like, no one's getting out of here alive. So why are we not talking about it? And then, I've had the honor of watching people take their last breath, right? And it's a sacred time. Obviously with Sam and other people that have lost their children, suddenly, right? You don't have this sacred time with them. But at the same time, it shouldn't be as taboo as it is, right? Because I think if more people knew, there's so many different circumstances, right? Sam was just taken from me.
Right.
Other people, moms that I'm friends with, their child collapsed and had a heart condition. Someone was killed in a motorcycle accident, right? So it's like there's all these different factors that go into it. But I think the number one thing that people don't understand is reaching out. And I think when the people that texted me, I'm here for you, or I'm sending you love, no need to respond, was brilliant. I loved that, because it was like me being like, wow, someone texted me and I should text them back.
Right.
But I wasn't always in the mood to text back. Or if I didn't have my phone all day, I'd grab it later and have like 1,000 messages, right? Because obviously people mean well. And I loved seeing the people that were aware of what happened and reached out. You then get people that didn't reach out, that you're like, this is really strange. They haven't reached out, because people don't know what to say.
Right.
And so to those people, I would say something. Say something in the text that says, Robyn, John, or whoever it is that, someone that they love has died, to reach out and just say, I don't know what to say. And I'm here for you. I'm sending love. I'll send you dinner tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I think the people that just showed up and dropped dinner off at right? Even and people sending DoorDash gift cards, or texting me, what can I get you for dinner? I'm like, I'm not thinking. The less I have to think, the better that was for me. And again, like, I'm speaking from my experience. I know a lot of other people had a different experience of what they needed.
Well,
but
I know with you, one of the things that I think makes you so special is you're very in tune to the universe and to the energy in the universe. I know that can sound like a little, woo-woo, right? But it's true about you. And it seemed like one of your gifts as a healer and a helper and a guide, because in a lot of ways you are that, was the universe then kind of opening up? Like you shared stories about other parents who've lost their kids in various ways. It seemed like there became a lot of parents and families and others that started to show up in your life. I don't know. Is that
exactly? True? Yes. And I think, and the interesting thing is that in the very beginning, all eyes were on me. Like, what can we do for you? That I felt this weight of, how do I make everybody feel needed, right? Because there's so many people that just kept reaching out to where they stopped reaching out, right? Because I wasn't, and that at first weighed on me. And I was like wanting to take care of everybody to the point to my detriment, and I actually had like a spiritual advisor that my massage mentor, Fred, was like, you have to take care of you.
Okay, so that's another thing that I think was very interesting that I noticed with you. You're going through the grieving process, and you're grieving the loss of Samantha Hyden.
Yes.
But at the same time, there was a shift in you, right? So you talk about the fact that you weren't just grieving the loss of your beautiful, amazing daughter,
Right. Yeah.
who still very much has a presence in this world today,
100%.
but you were grieving the loss of yourself, which I think is a very profound concept.
Yeah.
And I think you if you could share, because all of us are going through transitions all the time.
Right.
But how do you make that leap? Like, how do you let go?
I think I want to say it was probably about a year after Sam died that I just felt like I was not healing. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, every parent will tell you you're in survival mode.
Right.
You know, I just got to get through these days, right? I had a 10-year-old son at the time, and it was, I got to show up for him. You know, and I have a husband, and I'm a sister, and I mean, my brothers and my family obviously were very attentive and stuff for me, but I think I was realizing I'm trying to move too fast. I'm trying to get to the other side of this and find what's my purpose in all of this pain. And it was like going through the pain, I realized, what is it that I'm doing? I'm trying to become the person that I was for John before Sam died. Because if I can get to that girl, it makes me cry, then it's going to make this okay.
Right.
And I think the realization of, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be that girl. So not only am I grieving Sam, but I'm grieving this woman that I loved. And who is this person becoming? And then realizing that this person can still find joy, because it feels weird. I know every parent that I've talked to has said this, really, the first time you laugh after your child dies is just, it takes your breath away. You're like, I shouldn't be laughing. I shouldn't be.
I still have it.
Yeah, like
inside
that.
of me.
Yeah. And it's like, well, this is really great. Like something made me laugh. Like I remember John and I laughing about something, and I was like, I just got this overwhelming sensation of, like, I've told you, like I get those goosebumps that I just feel, Sam, that when John and I were laughing, I just felt this like wave of emotion. And I'm like, oh my God, we're doing this wrong. We're supposed to be laughing. She's going to show up more when we're laughing. She wants to be here for the good times. She knows that when she's here, I feel energy. Like, you know me.
Yes.
That's my thing. When I felt her, it was, I didn't feel her as much in the beginning. It took a while. And then when I started to realize, I was like, I can laugh again. And I don't think she's I don't feel guilty anymore. Like, because there's a feeling of like, I'm never going to laugh again the way I did when my daughter was here. I'll never, and that part's so hard to be. But then it was like, it's okay to be this person.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I think it was Fred that even said to me that he's like, so step into this version of you that you're supposed to become. You're supposed to become this version.
Well, and I look at you, right? First of all, your relationship with John Hyden is unbelievable. You have literally one of the best marriages I know. And you guys went through this together, but it was like when one was suffering, the other one was there, and you can lean into that. But then, in typical Robyn fashion, somehow you've taken all of that energy to bring this to help others go through the process, create transformation in others' lives. Like, there's such a rarity in what you have, this gift that you have, right? So your whole life has been energy, healing, massage work. I know you help even with training. Your husband's obviously a professional athlete, but you've just been doing this all your life. And now you're on even a greater journey, right? Can you talk a little bit about that? Because that, I think, is using the force of good in a way that is going to be truly transformative for others. Yeah,
100%. I feel like when it's like you saw me just now physically going through the grieving process of like, you know, this old Robyn or this version of me before, and to really embracing this version of me was, I think I was grieving Sam and I was grieving my identity, but then I learned to embrace this new identity and understanding that just because Sam is no longer in her body, she is not gone. Like, that love will not disappear. And I found that the more times where my energy and my frequency and my vibration was higher, she shows up. And there just became these things of like, I got back into the gym. I started
Clearly.
Thank you. I started moving my body again. That took a minute, right? To be able to go to a gym and work out around people and being around people who know my story. You know, you'd have people that want to talk, but then they're like, I want to leave you alone. Again, going back to that, like, people don't know what to do. And it was like, I was able to I gave everybody grace, right? I know people say the wrong things. Like, I could tell you a whole book of the things that people would say, she's in a better place. No, she's not. Here is the better place with me.
Right.
But I know what they mean because she's in heaven and all of that. But I think, it was getting back to myself, you know.
Do you think, I know you've always been very spiritual, but did this enhance your spiritual journey going through this process?
100%. Yeah. My faith in what's after this, I always believed in it, right? That's just who I was. I just felt like this can't be it, right? I believe that when we drop the body, we go somewhere. Where it was, I didn't know. Now I feel like I have a much better understanding of that. And that's kind of the direction that I'm still going in, because I have found so much peace in that my daughter is around me. I mean, Kim, she's sitting here with us right now. I 100% feel that.
And so you want to take that and catapult that to help others, right?
Right.
I mean, as we've talked about, you definitely need to do a TED Talk.
Yes.
You have something very important to say.
Yes.
And you put a funny spin on it, right? What not to say, what not to do, how to get through this so that you're in a new era of your life, right? Embracing that. And now it seems that you're inspired to want to pass that on to other parents or other individuals just in need who are grappling with this, who don't have that internal wherewithal to be able to make, bring that out themselves. Yeah. So the next part of your journey, I mean, it's only been 2 years, but fast forward, how are you planning to use your force of good energy and your mindset and everything that you've learned? Because I also know that you're working with mentors and coaches and advisors. Where is the next chapter for Robyn Hyden?
I'm definitely being called. I know that my calling has always been in healing. And there's been this really crazy thing that I've always been fascinated with death. And where do we go after this? So I've been doing a lot of research. I've actually read a lot of books about psychic mediums and just like that talk about like the afterlife. And there's a mom who's a really good friend of mine now whose daughter passed the same year as Sam, that we want to start doing retreats, and I would love it to be, if I could start something like a nonprofit. We're still trying to hash out the details, but I would love to be able to just find a place of paradise to just bring parents that can have someone like me and my friend Lindsay Rust sitting with them, right? Because there really is a thing. We've talked about going to counselors, right? And you go to a counselor that hasn't grieved losing a child.
Right.
You feel this like, then you don't know what I'm going through. I don't know how you could help me. Right? There's people that you, obviously friends, like you've been one of my best friends that has really been so pivotal in my healing journey, and just that you listen to me. My silence has never been, you've never taken that too personally. It's always just been, you've just been right there. You've just been right there. And Lindsay and I want to have retreats and start these meetings in Tennessee and possibly, taking people, away and just teaching them about this, about what it is, because they don't know what they need.
No, and I think that would be such an incredible gift because there's still so much life to live, right?
Yes.
And they don't know, right? That's a gift you have.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, where do we imagine our first retreat to be?
Oh, well, I was
because
thinking,
we need to put our mind to it.
Lindsay and I were talking about St. Lucia because we have this, John met this amazing couple that own the Body Holiday. And they have this beautiful house that sits on top of this mountain. And we went there. I'm telling you, St. Lucia is the happiest place on earth. It is not Disneyland. These people do not live wealthy.
Definitely not Disneyland.
It's definitely not Disneyland. It is St. Lucia. The people of St. Lucia are the happiest people I've ever met. And yes, granted, we were at a resort, but we went to the city center and I was like, this place is magical. Because we had gone there in December right after Sam died. And I went there and that water, is like, I get goosebumps because like, our bodies are electrical, right? It's like our bodies are electrical. Energy is a thing, right? You either are vibing on this low frequency or this high frequency. I've learned to get to Sam and for other families and parents and any loved one, you have to be vibing on that high frequency. Yeah. That's where they live because they're in the most amazing, energetic field of love. There's no greater energy than that. So if you're here and you're sad and you're depressed, no one's going to blame you.
And you're suffering on your own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what is your message?
Yeah.
What is your message?
I mean, I think the message is, I don't know, what is this message?
Like if you could have
yes.
a mission and a vision for what this new endeavor will do in healing other parents or helping other parents. Because I know, like you said, there's so much information out there, but a lot of times, I mean, you were even sharing a story about a chat room and the fact that you kind of took it offline to help a woman recently.
Yeah.
Right? Because they want it straight. They want it raw. They want to know. And I think her question was, when am I going to be okay?
Yeah.
And what was your answer?
I said, you're never going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like
right?
you're never going to be okay. But what you're going to learn to do is understand that, grief and joy and love can all live parallel lives with, your energy you're never going to be okay. You're going to be grieving. And it comes in waves, It's like my good friend, Brett Warren was telling me his nephew died, right? So I joined actually that mom group, but he was telling me how his brother said that he's like, every day I wake up and I have a bag of rocks, right, in a backpack. That's his son.
That's a symbol.
And he said, and every day, some days it's heavy and some days it's going to get lighter. It gets lighter for me. But the rocks never change, right? So it's like that grief is never going to go away. It's just going to be, you'll have more moments of happiness and being able to move through it. I know it's really funny because people have this stigma of like, you don't move on. And I'm like, but you do move on. You do move on and you should move on. You're not moving on away from them. You're moving on with them. They're just in a different form.
Well, I think your commitment, just in general, your lifestyle is all about health, wellness, spirituality, just on the friendship level. You are the listener, right? You're the one that everyone comes to for advice. That's just has been your role forever, decades. But sometimes you need to flip that, right? And that's where you were coming in. For the first year, you really were struggling.
Yeah.
But then again, you've now taken that because your core fabric of who you are is really, truly a healer. It really is. And now with this you've been investing in yourself education, awareness, learning, teaching,
Yeah.
spiritual journeys. Really, we don't oftentimes take the time for ourselves, right? You invested in that.
Yeah.
And as a part of that, now it seems that you want to share that, right?
Yes.
And I love the concept of the retreat. 2027 is definitely the year.
Yeah.
But there's more to it. Now, even though you are in a field of energy, healing, health, wellness, peptides,
Yeah.
and all of the rest, you've also talked about taking one more elevated step in your
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
I've never even heard the term, but
Yeah.
now I know. Can
Yeah.
you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. I think, the term, I don't know if I'm going to be using this term, but it's helping with people transition. The medical term, they call it a death doula.
Okay.
Talking with just by random strangers that have just come into my life, like since Sam died, that I met this woman, Marcy, who herself is a death doula, and I've become her first apprentice.
And what is it exactly? Because I know there's so many variations.
So it's sitting. So there's hospice nurses, right? And
Yes.
those are the nurses that come in once in a while and make sure that the person that's they're no longer receiving any type of care. It's now just a matter
Vitals
of
and all of that.
right. So that they're now just like on hospice, which means they're just waiting to die, really. But that if we're lucky enough, we get to talk to them before they're in hospice, right? So that's something that I would love to be able to do, because we come in as the advocate for the person who's passing, where the people who are left behind are the ones that are like, they don't understand what's happening, right? So if the person stops eating, they're like, keep feeding them. And it's like, there's so many factors that people just don't know how to help somebody die. And that you need somebody that can hold space in that energy, so that person can go.
You had the loss of your daughter, but then also when you're telling this story, it reminds me of Corinne.
Yeah.
Right? Because that is the role you took, the loss of your best friend, the same year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was like 6 months later. She planned Sam's funeral and then, ended up succumbing to, which goes back to where, I said, oh, you're going to beat cancer now. There's no way God's taking both my best friend and my daughter at the same time. And then when she died, I was like, okay, so let's just get back to, I know nothing. Life is just, we got to learn how to be present in every moment. Stop taking things for granted. Stop, hanging up on somebody and not talking to them for a couple days, because people who have lost loved ones, like husbands or children, they see life differently now. Like, there's a little meme that goes around that it's like, if you can become friends with somebody who's experienced a great loss, they're going to teach you something about life. And I definitely believe that.
So then going back,
Yeah.
right? You observed this with Corinne, and I know you've been really pivotal in her daughter's life and helping support that, but also being an advocate for her, right in her dying days.
Yeah, I wish I could have been more of an advocate for her. I felt like there were some things that, were happening that I wish that I could have been more a part of, but I just didn't know how to insert myself, because I felt like she was my family, but she also had a family that was there that was kind of running the show, that it was, they were nervous that too much medicine was going to kill her. And I'm thinking, you can't kill her. She's dying. Like, they needed her to stay alive for other people to get there. And I was like, this is not how you do it. It's not how you do it. And it just felt like I really wish that I could have been more help.
It's crazy about how life brings you lessons when you don't think if anybody said to you, 2 years ago
Oh my
that you
God.
would even be contemplating this concept of a death doula in your life or your next
Yeah.
decades of life.
I'd be like, that's the saddest thing. I could never be a part of that. Like, who would want to go and watch people die? But now I understand how sacred it is and that we've gone away from that as a society, that it's like, oh, people just, they go and they die and you're just waiting. Everyone sits in a room and waits. And it's, well, what if I could bring something different and be an advocate for that person and hold space and energy,
Yes.
right, for that person who's leaving, and making sure that everybody here, and the hospice nurses that we encountered in Tennessee have been amazing. And I think most hospice nurses are phenomenal.
Yes.
But they can't sit with the family all day, every day.
Right.
Right? So there's people like me that want to come in and be able to hold that space. And especially like Marcy was saying, can you imagine like you being able to hold space for a family whose child is dying of cancer? You lost a daughter, like your daughter has transitioned, and you could be, holding space for them with the understanding of, here I am, I've gone through this. I know what you're going through. Versus, not that these nurses and these other people aren't amazing,
Right.
but just that there's
So special.
it's like my friend Lindsay Rust. I'm like, there's nobody else in this world that I would rather, I meet with her once a month and we just sit there and we share stories about signs that we've been given from our kids. And I'm like, but, and then the things that we talk about that nobody else she wouldn't even know to ask me, like going into Sam's room, like, what, because Sam died there. How has that been? And
you just now refreshed that room, right?
yeah, and I just was able to like change it, because I sat and meditated with talking to Sam, and Sam was like, Mom, you're getting a little crazy. Like, you can turn it into a guest room. It's fine. I'm not using it again, and she just kind of made me laugh. But yeah, I think, I think overall, looking at the whole trajectory of my life, right? I didn't choose this. I would never, who would choose this, right? Like you don't, and which is a lot of people, someone going through a divorce, right? Where they didn't choose it, but somebody chose it for them, or, whatever it may be, losing a job that they identified with. You don't have a choice all the time.
Yeah.
And you get dealt the hand that you get dealt, but you have a choice.
That's why, as part of this Iconic Wisdom
Yeah.
series, I really wanted to sit down with you because you embody it, right? And I think you bring a lot of hope to so many people. It's just the way you are, how you carry yourself. But like you said, there are a lot of women out there that sometimes it's not easy going into our 50s and our 60s and our 70s and having to reinvent ourselves, which is basically what you did.
Yeah.
And reinvented your marriage. I mean, you guys are stronger than ever, right?
Yeah.
So just that word of wisdom that you have
Yeah.
for women out there, what is it? I mean, you've shared so much of it today, but your key takeaway with that, like what is it that you would tell other women? Because I know you're going to carry this message forward to help them navigate through life's changes,
Fred told me a long time ago, you have to learn to embrace the struggle, right? Welcome the struggle. The more you resist, the more it persists. That's just that's how life is. But the more that you can just sit back, it's like, I just want to go downstream now. I don't want to be fighting for things. I don't want to be fighting, I think we were talking about, after a year of trying to get back to normal and then embracing who this person was, that it was like, I really had to sit with, am I okay with liking this version better? Because I like this girl. Like this she's really strong and she really knows how to set boundaries and she's not people pleasing. And she's saying the biggest thing is I can't help other people until I've helped myself first, right?
Yes.
Wayne Dyer always said, you can't give away what you don't have. And that was like, the biggest thing for me of like, well, what is it that I needed? What is it that would have been great to know? I would love to have had some woman when I walked in go, you're going to just have to go through this.
And give it to you straight.
and just shoot me straight and say it's going to be the hardest thing that you've ever done. You're going to smile again. You're going to laugh again, you know? And I think the biggest thing for me was, finding that out, that I really just felt like our children want us to be happy. They don't want us, right? Because Joe Dispenza said it, that he said,
Joe.
yeah, he's amazing.
Amazing.
That imagine if roles were reversed. And Sam was here with John and Jack.
Right.
And I'm in spirit. And I had to watch Sam and John and Jack miserable and not get out of bed and not participate in life and just feel like they thought they were honoring me by not being happy. How would you feel? And I was like, oh my gosh, like, right.
Wow. That flips the switch.
That flips the switch, because I'd be like, please, I'm doing great. I don't feel connected to you. I'm now energy. I'm now the most ultimate love that there is. I'm having a great time. Please let me see that you're okay. And there are moments when I know Sam is not with me because I'm like, nope, my girl's working. I know, like, there's a lot of people that are like, she's with Jesus. And I'm like, my girl's working. She's
at the ice cream store.
She's working at that ice cream shop. And Sam has done, and just, I think that, for me, being open to all of that information, but it was just like, oh my gosh, let me live the best life that I could possibly live.
Yes.
Be as happy as I'm going to be. And that may not be who I was before Sam died. Am I ever going to be that happy? Is John ever going to smile that big? No, but we're going to do the best that we can so that when we do get reunited with my daughter, she's going to look at me and she's going to go, Mom, you fucking did it.
Well, and I think you guys are doing it together, right?
100%.
Because I have no doubt
Yeah.
that you held the retreat, and I have no doubt that women and parents and even Sam's boyfriend, you helped him through this, right? It was
Yeah.
a loss for him. That was his first love.
Oh my
like,
gosh, I know.
Oh my gosh, Carter.
Yeah.
Right? But I have no doubt that you and Sam have a calling right now.
Yes.
You absolutely do. And I have no doubt that this will come through.
Yeah.
And I think you will be a very leading voice because you bring something different to the table, right? I see it happening for you, right? So taking shape is this concept of retreats, this concept of the death doula in the capacity, whatever capacity, I don't know. I mean, maybe just as part of the education for the audience, what capacity do you see yourself being in? Because there's so many different components to that.
I think for me, the way that I've just been embracing all of this has been I'm allowing the universe to just open up what's meant for me, will not pass me by, and that I'm just following the love. I definitely feel like, Samantha definitely has a big part in it. My girlfriend, Corinne, has a big part of that.
Yes.
And just, embracing it. Like I'm learning to embrace it. And, I mean, like the next chapter it's so funny that you said 2027 is the year of retreats because Lindsay Rust and I literally just before I came to California, we had a meeting and we said 2027 is this when it's going to happen.
You're doing it.
And that's like, again, the downstream.
Robyn, you are the epitome of an iconic woman to me. You are. Because iconic wisdom is really about inspiring, empowering, celebrating women, right? We want to inspire them to live their best, most authentic lives. Sometimes that could be messy.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be glorious. But for you, your story is so incredibly profound and inspiring. So with that, what is it, the message that you would want other women to know about anything that they're going through in life, that transitional part of their life, and how do they get to the other side so they can have that joyful, authentic, celebratory life that we all aim for?
I mean, I think the biggest takeaway that I would want people to take from this is just understanding that you may never become what you were. right? But learning to just embrace the woman that you are becoming. And in that is where the healing is, right? Stop chasing what was and just fully embrace and surrender
Surrender.
to what you're becoming.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Because when you were talking about iconic women, what I really wanted to say was, what I really wanted to tell people was like, find yourself a Kim Sherman
I'll be the hype girl.
who allows you to fully be yourself around, that I didn't have to take care of you. I never felt like I had to take care of you. I never felt like you needed something from me. You're not a taker. You didn't need me to. It's hard to put into words because there's like so many people that are like, oh, look, I did, I left this on your doorstep. But right, there's people, right? But at the end of the day, I'm like, but did you need me to clap for you? Like, you did great. That it was like, you're not that person. Like, that was, everybody needs to find a friend that they have where you just let me ramble and ramble and ramble. And then you would take all the stuff that I said and feed it back to me in a dialogue that I was like, she understood what I was saying.
Thank you.
I felt understood. And that, my husband can do that for me, right? Like that's what he's really good at. But to have a girlfriend, one especially, like I've always looked up to you, right? Like you ran this multi-million-dollar business. Like you were just that woman that just embodied like, you're an alpha female, but you have this softness to you that is so rare, Kim.
Thank
You're
you,
not a ball
Robyn.
buster that walks in rooms and just, right? But you walk in rooms and take over. And it's like, you have this power about you that I was like, that's inspiring. Like that's so the fact of like you and I being friends and you giving me this platform, like this is so, I'm so honored and so grateful to have you, not only as somebody that's like helping me with all of this stuff, because you've helped us with Hyden, you've helped me with so many different things in life, right? And I know like I've helped you so many different, right? We've had this give and take, but it's never like, well, hey, I'm giving, now, I'm taking, like I need now, it's never been that way. Like we have this beautiful flow and relationship that I just figured this was a great space to just share that with you.
Thank you so much, because I think for me, the place I'm most comfortable is listening to the stories and sharing the stories. I am not comfortable in front of the spotlight. It's just not my thing. I thought I could do it with iconic women, but it's not my thing.
You're the behind the scenes girl.
I want to be the elevator for your stories, right? And what is more impactful than what you were talking about?
Right.
And one thing I wanted to ask you, because there's so much that you have to offer, and I know how you are, right? People naturally come to you. Mm-hmm. But if somebody wanted to reach out to you, how would they do that?
Oh, they could, my Instagram, DM me on Instagram.
So do you want to share it?
Yeah, at Robyn Hyden on Instagram.
So if somebody wanted to reach out to you, we
absolutely.
can find you at Robyn Hyden on Instagram?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could give I don't mind if people want to text me.
I also want to be able to provide an update for the retreat.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And have Zone Media cover it.
That would be amazing.
Okay.
No, I think that'd be great.
Robyn, thank you so much for one of the most impactful conversations. Like, what an honor for me to be able to share this with, others out there. I'm hoping, and I know that what you've said today will leave a lasting impact on others. Mm-hmm. Very inspiring. I can't wait to see what's in store for you. It's going by so fast, but
I know.
I have no doubt that you will have a retreat, a TED Talk, a book.
Yeah.
And
book's going to be funny.
A career that you're going to be helping so many families navigate through the unexpected in life with grace and authenticity and joy. I just want to say thank you. I love you.
I love you too. It was an honor to be here. And thank you for sharing my story.
Thank you.